All right, you guys, what's going on? Today we are going to do a bit different of a video. This is a jab improvement session. So the idea is that it's me and you. We're here in my garage, in the gym, whatever, and we're going to work on your jab. We're going to work on improving your jab. There are many elements to the jab in terms of improving it. Technical, the delivery, how you feel, tactical, conditioning, training, speed, power, different types of jabs, which falls into the tactical. So there are many different ways that you can work on your jab to improve it. This session, I've got about 7 things we're going to work on. I think my full list is like 25, 30 things that you can do. We are keeping these things in mind and going to work them like drills. It's, again, sort of like almost like a one-on-one session. You're here and I'm guiding you through it. So it's going to have a little bit of a teaching element and a little bit of an exercise or drill workout component, but not totally teaching, not totally a lesson. It's here, we're going to work on your jab, improve it. You could take these aspects, work on them in your own training. In your own training, I don't really know what level you are, but you could either be a beginner and all of these apply to you and you need that development, or you're already intermediate, advanced, or you've got these down and this is just something that you can add or keep in mind or focus on. But that's what I want for you, is whatever level you're at, to improve that level, to get better with your boxing. You're a beginner, level up, or you already have some experience and you're just trying to get to this platform so that you can go even beyond and become the best boxer you can be. If you like this lesson, this kind of format, I have a lot like it in the membership. In the membership, it's a little more active though. We're busy doing workouts and training and conditioning. There's a link to a document below for the membership. Make sure you check out that link and understand the levels. Don't just sign up randomly because you might not know what you're getting. Level 1 has certain things. Level 2 has other things. Level 3, when you sign up for a level, you get all the levels below that. All right, you guys, we're going to get started working on the jab. It's me and you together. I expect you to do this with me. So I'm going to talk you through some things and then we do it together. Don't sit there. Don't sit down. All right? If you're going to sit down and watch it later, do it later. Okay, we're going to do this together. All right, let's get into it. Peace. All right, I'm way back here, but hopefully you can still see me clearly, see everything clearly. One of the things that a lot of people have trouble with in their jab and punching in general is just maintaining that relaxation. Once you train enough, that efficiency and that relaxation starts to get built in to what you're doing. But sometimes to accelerate it, you have to pay a little bit of attention to it. So all we're going to do is work a jab. In my head, I'll count like 20 or 30 or so. We're going to go for, a couple minutes, just working the drill. All I want you focused on is relaxation. That arm is relaxed and loose. And then make sure in between you relax. Relax. Try to keep that relaxation in your jab and loose. If at any time you're extra tired on that one side and you want to switch to southpaw or vice versa, feel free to do that. You can feel free to switch. Don't feel that you have to just destroy your one arm. You can always mix it up as you go. If you don't have a bag, you don't need a bag. You can just work this on your own. Just be aware of your elbow joint. If you're not, turn that punch over. That's going to help your elbow joint. And just be aware of it so you don't overextend it. Okay, relaxation. That's the first thing we're focused on. So all I want you to do is at your own pace, start to work that relaxation. Be nice and relaxed. Go for it. Time in. Start working it. Nice and loose. Remind yourself. We're not really working on any other element. You still want your technique to be good. Hitting with the knuckles. First 2 knuckles. Okay, make sure you're nice and relaxed. Let's just stick focused on this drill for a couple minutes. And you should be working it right now. Chin down, breathing. Relax, relax, relax. Part of being relaxed also is not any tension of pulling or dropping before you throw. Maybe you're catching me do that, so I got to work on it. Loose, loose, loose. Keep working it. And relax and relax. Let that arm be loose. We often like to pull that hand back. Do one of these, kind of preload. So if you're relaxed, you'll just feel that hand go out. Keep working it a little bit. Every boxing workout, you want to at least have a little bit of awareness of relaxation. Let's go another 30 seconds or so. Loose, let the hand go down, be relaxed. Ten seconds. 10 seconds in my mind, in my count. All right, take a break. Time. Relax, relax, relax. Relax from relaxing. We are relaxing, throwing the jab, working it. Now just take a little break. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, let's get into the next thing I want you to work on and pay attention to. Most of the time, again, I know I'm especially talking to a lot of beginners here, and I've seen a lot of you. I've seen a lot of you in videos and video reviews, in your training. And one thing that I want you to be able to keep in mind is the need to cover distance. The need to cover distance, cover it quickly and effectively. Don't take that for granted. When you get into a fight and sparring, one of the hardest things to do is just get from A to B. That's why burpees are so good for boxers. That constant push and spring off trains the legs to cover distance. But not just burpees, obviously working on your footwork and the specific activity itself. So we are going to work on the jab with the focus of covering distance. Covering distance means you don't assume that you can hit your opponent without having to move to your opponent. Now, depending on how long your range is and how short the range is of your opponent, that distance will be different. If you guys might have seen the Fundora 2 fight, bloody fight. You see Fundora, he doesn't have to be far away because the shorter boxer's trying to get close to him. He's 6'5 and a half, 6'6". So he doesn't have much to travel. But a shorter boxer, shorter range, may have to go all the way from here to there. So depending on what you need, it will be different. 3 basic ones are, just take a short push step with that front foot. This is if you can get close to your opponent. Second one is you step with that front foot. It's a push step, like a drive. But you have to bring that back leg with you to cover ground. Right, you move. Okay? And the third one, which is almost like Can be either like the first or the second is you take a little back step. Kodo used to do that a lot. Take a little back step, boom, before he came in. So I want you to work that. For the next few minutes, we're just going to focus on covering distance. Make sure you can't touch your target, or make sure you're here, and then you go to your target. All right, let's get started. Let's work that. Covering distance. Okay, think about that you can't hit that target. And then you go to it quickly. Cover that distance. Now still pay attention to relaxation and those other elements. Doesn't have to be a lot of distance. We cover what distance you need, and you want to cover it quickly. Keep your feet fresh and moving. And then you work it. Cover that distance. Keep working it, keep working it. You're outside. You can't get there. Boom, cover that distance. Stay focused on it. Keep working. Keep working. Let's go another minute or so. Focus, focus, focus. See, I was too close. There we go. Cover that distance. Working the jab. You take these elements and you bring them to your training. Relaxation, covering distance. Keep working. A few more. All right, time. Take a few seconds break. Take a few seconds. I'll see you in a bit. All right, had to change the lighting a little bit, make it a little bit brighter in here, change up the gloves too, mix it up. One element that's very important in your boxing is movement. Lateral movement, forward and backward movement, movement to cover distance. Not always letting your opponent know where you will be when you decide to attack. Not always allowing them to gauge the distance, that where you are from, or even line you up straight, that movement. Head movement, footwork, depending on your style, it's going to change depending on whether you're a Muhammad Ali or a Joe Frazier, but we need that movement, okay? So what I want you to focus on here is throwing that jab from movement. Working the jab. Now you can cover distance and relax and do all those things, but we're not trying to get you to think about a million things at one time. Right now, we just want you to focus on movement. If you are trying to get to your opponent, most likely that movement is you cutting off the ring and then going. If you're an outside fighter, long range fighter, often what that entails is you not allowing the opponent to line you up and continue to create that straight pressure. So you might be circling, throwing the jab. Okay, it can be different depending on what your style is or what your strategy is. So you work on that. But the idea is still movement, primarily lateral movement, side to side, combined with in and out movement. When you decide to jab, mostly I still want you coming straight in. Try not to be avoidant, like trying to send the arm in to do the job while you escape with your head. You still have to commit. Okay, so when you're there, whatever you're doing, you still commit. All right, movement, lateral movement. That's what we're working on right now. That's the third element of today's session. Okay, let's get going. Let's work on that lateral movement, all right? Movement, movement, movement. Now I'm putting in some right hands in there. You can too if you want, if you're feeling that. If you're feeling that, you can add that in. But we are still focused on the movement and the jab. I like to switch bags now and then. Movement. Whatever is your level. If you are an elite boxer, you still can work this. Working that movement. Lateral movement. Not standing in one spot. And then out here on the outside, you can work it different ways at different ranges. Movement, movement, movement. Give me that movement. Lateral movement. Let's go another 30 seconds or so. Ten seconds, keep working. All right. Next one, next element can take a lot of energy out of you. It can pay big dividends, but you can't wait till the fight to rely on it. That's why it's one thing to tell you this information. It's one thing to know the information. It's another thing to have trained it and acquired it and be able to work it consistently in the heat of the action. So I'm a big believer in doing. I'm not just going to tell you 7 things and then be like, all right, you know it. We got to work on it. All right. So next one is the feint and jab. Feints can be all kinds of things, from a little step to a little flick of the arm to a hand drop to a head switch. Any way you can sell it. Depends on the opponent. Sometimes it doesn't take much. A little bit. Any way you can sell it. It's just a small version of something you were really going to do. Feint and jab. Rhythms can be different. You feint, then you really actually jab. You feint, jab. You feint, jab. feint, jab. Right? However your skill level works. But the feints, they actually do take up a lot of energy. So we're going to work that next. Feint and jab. It can be feints by itself, jabs by themselves, feint and jab, different rhythms. The key is practice it, practice it, practice it, practice it. Okay? Ready? Let's get going. Let's do it. Let's start it up. Feint and jab. Working it your way, your pace. Be quick, be quick. Your feints. Your feints. Sometimes it can be just a drop boom. Sometimes you're not just feinting that you will jab, but where you will jab. Low, high. High, low. Back fist jab. Corkscrew jab. Okay, work it. That's why it's good to have a rhythm like a haggler, because then these fakes and feints are built into your rhythm. You chop it up. You chop up that rhythm. Keep working it. Some things work, some things don't. Some things it depends on the opponent. You got to be able to adapt to the situation. Sometimes no feint. You just come right in. Keep working. Keep working it. Feints, feints, feints. Head feints, foot feints. Working. All right, time. Take a break, take a break. Breathe, recover, relax. Get a sip of water. I'll see you in a minute. All right, next part. Jab improvement session. Putting the jab with the right hand, or if you're a southpaw, putting the jab with the left hand. Often when you get to that first level of tactics, jab, right hand, jab, right hook to the body, whatever it is, the technique of the jab goes out the door, out the window, because you're focused on getting that big right hand. Now you still want to have a nice right hand, but you don't want to let that jab just be a fake or a floater, unless that's your intention. The key is that you do what you intend to do, right? Not hope that it's one thing and you're doing something else. So what I want to do in this case is we put the jab and the right hand together. We have a quality jab before the right hand in this case. You can throw a nice bum, like you see Joshua against Ngannou, when Ngannou went southpaw. You see Joshua's there and he just touches that right hand of Ngannou, boom, puts that right hand through. That was sweet. But that's not what we're working on in this case. I want you to work on quality jab, quality right hand. Understand the cadence, right? There's here, right? And then, right? The faster you want that right hand to come after, the quicker you have to release and pull back. That jab doesn't have as much time. So we're looking at good power on both. Putting it together. Okay. Now when you throw that right hand, the jab doesn't all of a sudden go like this, right? See here? Bang, bang. Okay, so you keep your technique, keep your position, keep your cadence, your power. You just pay attention to the quality of each punch. Okay, jab, right hand. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's work on it. Clean right hand down the middle. Keep that jab hand up. Now, make sure you bring it straight back. Don't roll it back, right? Don't roll here. Roll it back like that, all right? Clean. Now, if you put too much power and you don't feel good, then slow down the power and work on relaxation. Just pop up. Okay? It doesn't have to be your max effort to be effective. If you land just that can be just as effective as missing your most powerful, or it will be more effective. A shot that you land is better than one that's powerful, more powerful, that you miss or that they block. So you catch that opportunity. Keep working on it. 1, 2. Relax those elbows. I got to remind myself. Relax, 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 relax. Now, other elements still apply. Relaxation, movement, distance. Right? So you don't have to think about that too much right now, but just to know that those other elements often still apply. Keep working. Keep working. One, two, you keep working it. Or jab. Right hand, jab, straight left. Relaxation. Few more. Few more. All right, time. Brilliant work, brilliant work. 2 more aspects to cover. Okay, breathe, recover. Take a second. I'll see you in a minute. All right, next aspect we're going to work on is placement of the jab. Placement of the jab to the head. Placement of the jab matters. It matters to a certain extent. It is a little more tactical. It's something that you're doing because you know why you're doing it. You're reading the opponent and you have a reason. For example, you might want to throw a jab just to the eyes. Boom. To cover the eyes. Bam. To set something else up. You might have somebody who's really covered but doesn't move their head that much, so you pop the forehead because it's available. You might have somebody who is always slipping in the same direction. They're always slipping to your outside. So you feed them just a nice one. Bam, and you come right down because you know they're always slipping in the same direction. Or they're always slipping that side, so you pop it to their right eye. Boom. And because the punch is coming into where they're going to slip, they freeze. Or you have an opponent who's working lots of head movement, so you drive the jab right to the base of the neck, upper chest, home. So no matter where they move, it sort of catches them. And then you can set up other shots. Not to say that all of those are going to always work, but these are some reasons why you would have a jab that you are throwing to different parts. You have like an oval shape, just slightly off to different parts. Sometimes you just want to just touch someone, boom, right here, where you want it to come from a different direction. So anyways, we are going to work on that. Imagine you have like a little oval. It doesn't have to be big. And you want to put that jab to different parts of that oval. Not necessarily going here and there, but just here, 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 here. Play around with it a little bit. Different areas, different parts. Okay, and later when you see the situation, you're in sparring, you're going to see why that can be effective for you when you're working it with your combinations. All right, let's do that. Let's do that for a little bit. Jab placement. All right, ready? Let's go. Different parts, different parts. Doesn't have to be too hard, too much power. Just get it there, get it to your target. Slightly off. I can throw at you here. I'm exaggerating it here, but you see what I mean. Might make you do different things. Work with that. To the left eye. To the chest or base of the neck. Forehead. To the right eye. As you move out. Work with it, work with it. Different placement. Low, high, high, out. Here. Not by much, just a little bit. Just so your sparring partner, your opponent, sees that jab coming from a different angle. Working it. Keep working it. Different spots, different spots. Keep working, keep working. A little bit more. A little bit more. All right, time. Good work, good work. All right. Last part of this session. So, placement. Every now and then, just play with it. Think about it. If you're sparring, take little scenarios from your sparring and bring them to your bag work shadowboxing. Work that out a little bit in your mind. Last one is technically not a jab. It's the straight left. You throw the right hand and then bang, you throw the left after. Jab leads off the combo. Here, we're going to throw the straight left. The straight left is a hard punch for a lot of people to throw because when you throw the jab, you're often so trained for that small motion that we don't generate a lot of power or learn to from a rotated position with the right hand coming back. One place you saw that beautifully is in Southpaw, Crawford against Errol Spence. Boom, on that first knockdown, round 2. So that's something to work on. We can work on it in a couple different ways. Just the rotation. Here, I'll do it out of orthodox. Just the rotation part. Working that. Just work on that first. Or with a little gazelle step, like Crawford, to cover that extra bit of ground. Either way, you got to learn the timing and that acceleration. So you're going to throw a right hand first, a rear power shot, and then straight left. Same thing if you're southpaw here. Throw the power, the straight lead right. Okay, that's the last one we're going to work on today. Let's get into it. Let's work on it right now. Here we are. Right hand, left, straight left. Get that body to generate power on the way back. It's not easy. If you haven't been practicing, this is definitely not easy. Here we are, work on it. Straight left. Pacquiao is also really good at this, really good. I think that's almost how he knocked down Thurman. Straight lead, straight left, and then that big right hand, lead right. Thurman wasn't expecting it. See, on the southpaw, I'm weaker. Sometimes I go southpaw to try to feel like what a beginner is going to feel like. Okay, turn that body. Power, power. Work it. Work it. Come on. Keep working. Come on, 10 more. Work the gazelle. Little step there. Keep working. Two more. All right. Okay, there it is. That's our session. Me and you working it together. That's how it is. You came over to my place, in my garage. We met at the gym, we met somewhere. We want to work on your jab. What are some elements of the jab that will improve the overall quality of your jab? We got relaxation, covering distance, throwing it from movement, fakes and feints, and jabbing, different rhythms. Jab, right hand variations, keeping the quality high on the 1-2, your first, most basic and practical combo. Placement of the jab, and then the right hand straight left. That's even a lot, depending on your level, but these are some things to keep in mind. Like a little bit of a workout, a little bit of a technical session, jab improvement session. I'm going to be doing more of these, different elements of boxing. We're going to do another jab one, maybe next month, covering different elements, different things that you can work on. Everybody out there is at a different point in their boxing, and so that's what I'm trying to keep in mind is where are you right now? What do you need right now? And what can I give you? What can I give that person to help improve their boxing? A lot of people don't need this exact information right now. They maybe needed it 2 years ago, or maybe they need it in a year from now. But for those of you who can use it, this information is here for you right now to take you from where you are to that next little bit. So I'm going to have some more of these. It's just as real as it can get. This is what we do. This is how we work it. And then you go off the rest of the week, the rest of the 3-4 weeks, and you train. And you train hard, and you do your rounds. And you factor in some of these elements, the ones that apply to you. All right. Make sure to check out the membership. Beginner boxing, learn how to box. Training camps, boxing workouts. And I know a lot of you love the virtual pads. That's at level 1. That's all there. So if you love virtual pads, just go to level 1. But make sure to check out that link below. That's got everything. And it was fun training with you. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. In the meantime, keep your hands up, chin down, eyes on the prize. Peace.